Change up the topic. I got a 19 and it folded in my pocket. She gave me a number, now I gotta block it. I'm mixing the dirty bills in with the profit. Clean that shit up and I give it right back to him. If I don't fuck with him, then I can't rap with him. I wanna beat him when somebody catches him. I wanna witness and see that shit.
Man, these folks got their hit his shit. No cap.
I bring up hits and they change up the topic. I got a 19 and it folded in my pocket. One hell of a year and the niggas still dropping. They wanted to stop it, but they couldn't stop it. You told a story like Shorty was feeling you. She told a story like she split the bill, but you look at my story, man, no one could write it. Now I see a million, I don't get excited. I might just buy sell my shit the thug away. Ain't no real sense in me going the other way. Can I be seen in that shit from the other day? Virgil just sent me a whole different colorway. Please don't be stupid, it's baby and Gunna, and baby he wanted it, so I just swung her. Next time I'm in Dallas, I look for another. You niggas fell off and you never recover.
Puddle so high, taking wait till it bubble. I'm gonna, I made this shit double. Hitting Liente and left with a puddle. It's me drinking, baby, you know you in trouble. Run up my chin, my bitch sprint up the shoulder. Samples of M by the bed for my brother. Painted all black, the interior butter. I drip like a leak and that's word to my mother. Yeah, came out the street, gotta sleep with a cutter. Family and beast, we gon' eat us or something. My dick in her mouth like she teasing or something. Sound like it could be drip season or something. Ain't no comparing, cause we number one. In black and white Chanel, I look like a nun. The police and shot, don't know who got a gun. Don't got what I got, cause I shot from my lung. It's winter, I stood to the top of the dome. The kid was surprised at my trunk in the front. I know you upset, it don't shine in the sun. Cuban ain't look like a box of crayon. I'm still at the light trying to cut the cayenne. I told the just fuck it, I'm going on the run. You one of my dogs, I look out for the bun.
Let them get by, let them choose side. We get M's in by the shoe size. I don't fuck with y'all type of kind. I done seen all y'all dig right. Red window like I'm Kevin Gates, and I swear to God I don't get tired. From the treasure now I'm going to spend them whole on them new biz right. Don't got a job, I can leave it to gunner. Running this shit only been out 2 summers. That 4x4 truck, I post 3 on me. Whoever they know how I'm coming. Ain't got no feelings on him for the money. Treat every club like a magic on money. Niggas ain't rich for real, they getting fronted. Gave her a dime, told her fist up her stomach. By the time she get back, I'ma switch up my number. Count to her friend like I've been on a bumper. Lately I've been the topic of discussion. Draco was foreign, they shoot it from Russia. Bad vibes in my show like a mushroom. If she tell me no once, I won't even touch it. All I do is get her out here bushing. Act like I been rich, I used to have nothing. Drizzy hit me up like he got another one. Money ain't even came in from the other one. Fucking them high, so I might as well double up. Seem like everything I get on the number one. They tryna team up to beat me, they huddling up. Ever catch me out in traffic, I'm cutting up. Every city we go to, it be lit as fuck. Tryna put the police on us, get rid of us. Let them get by, let them choose side. We get M's in by the shoe size. I don't fuck with y'all type of kind. I done seen all y'all dig right. Red window like I'm Kevin Gates, and I swear to God I don't get tired. From the treasure now I'm going to spend them whole on them new biz right.
You seen the overseas drip?
All right. Hey. Yeah. Take keep this too Yeah. Hey. Look. I bring her money, they change up the topic. I got a 19 and it folded in my pocket. She gave me a number, now I gotta block it. I'm mixing the dirty bills in with the profit. Clean that shit up and I give it right back to him. If I don't fuck with him, then I can't rap with him. I wanna beat him when somebody catches him. I wanna witness and see that shit.
Man, these folks got their hit his shit. No cap.
I bring up hits and they change up the topic. I got a 19 and it folded in my pocket. One hell of a year and the niggas still dropping. They wanted to stop it, but they couldn't stop it. You told a story like Shorty was feeling you. She told a story like she split the bill, but you look at my story, man, no one could write it. Now I see a million, I don't get excited. I might just buy sell my shit the thug away. Ain't no real sense in me going the other way. Can I be seen in that shit from the other day? Virgil just sent me a whole different colorway. Please don't be stupid, it's baby and Gunna, and baby he wanted it, so I just swung her. Next time I'm
Sunset Hunter on the wrist. Gee. Yeah. I used to have some fat watches. Traded it for crypto. This used to be one of my watches. I had that for like a year. So Canadians listen to Drake. I've had some crazy timepieces. I've had the 5980, the anniversary, I've had them all. Once you've had every watch, I bought crypto instead. RM's overrated. Once you wear one, it's different. Once you wear one, it depends where you are wearing them too. Like, you don't just wear them and like you're gonna rock an RM and like you gotta like Miami or something. It's a different feel. It's a different feel. Everywhere you go stands out, especially depending where you are. Watches aren't necessarily investments though. Some people say they're good. It depends on the watch. So, in COVID times, watches had like crazy surge. I bought a Richard Mille when Bitcoin was 56,000. I bought it with Bitcoin. I remember Bitcoin was $56,000. That would have been around here. I remember buying one with Bitcoin when it was around $56,000. I sold the watch when Bitcoin was like $28,000. So for me, it was like the perfect in and out because at the same time, the price of the watch dropped and Bitcoin dropped. So I got rid of my Bitcoin, ended up getting Bitcoin back at a lower price. It was a good. I'm happy I still don't have that watch. Let's just say. Let's just say. Yeah, there was a meeting today. So we're gonna get into the charts here, get into the markets a bit, go over some update, answer some questions for you guys here tonight. Gold's still bullish. Like I said this morning, like short term, I even wrote in Discord, like maybe short term reactions off that area. Like there's still demand for gold. We talked about that this morning with the whole China stuff going on, trade wars. Overall, in this market environment, like you want to be like, if you're selling, you want to be quick and maybe not looking for swings on the sells. And this market condition, sells can obviously happen, but like in this market condition, if you're in sells, it's like could be quick reactions at some crucial zones. Like that, we were talking about this morning in New York session. I was saying let it go up more. You know, it's better to do that in some cases. 'Cause even yesterday, the market went up more and then it dropped. In that same situation we were in this morning, same scenario we were in this morning, it can be better to let price kind of do what it did. Just let it go up more. Like be like, okay, it's in a trend. Let's see if it just push up more and maybe find a higher sell if I'm looking for one. It even made that higher high, right? And then, dipped down. I did say this morning, it'll probably go to the 40s or maybe 50, right? That's what I was feeling this morning and seeing on the chart. And yeah, like sells because of everything going on, like geopolitically, with the whole like US, Mexico, Canada, trade wars, China especially. That's just causing a lot of tension in the markets, like we spoke about this morning. And kind of like I updated you guys, first post of the week yesterday morning. I did say gold is definitely in a strong demand phase right now with the trade wars going on, so that's just overall market uncertainty. It's acting as a safe haven asset. That's what it's always been over time. Like if we zoom out on gold, it's always been a store of value. If my parents bought it, if their parents bought it, if their parents bought it and just held, it's always been a store of value. There's obviously just so much gold on earth, so the price, and then ETFs. Not to mention if you guys go to one of my videos on YouTube, I talk about when the gold ETFs came out. Right, that was in like 2003 and 2004, right before the U.S. recession. So take into consideration the last 4 years, right? I think we've all lived the last 4 or 5 years, right? We've all experienced the last 4 or 5 years. And we can say the last 4 or 5 years versus, the last 10 years, 15 years. Whoa, what happened, right? in 2003, 2004, gold ETFs came out right before the like 2008, 2008 crisis, housing market crisis. If you ever seen the movie The Big Short, it's a good movie to watch. That is about that timeline. As someone said, rap music on Evan Street. I said, nah, like, bro, if you followed me way back in the day, like 4 or 5, I used to blast like reggaeton, Bad Bunny, like, I spent a lot of time in Colombia those days, traveling. So traveling. Miami too. Miami's like a, mix of everything. Miami's like Cuba, Venezuela, Colombia, everything all in one. If you were following me like in 2019, 2020, 2021, maybe even 2018, oof. The vibe's back. The inner circle inner circle, like, everybody's been DMing me, don't worry. Like, I've been already getting back to a lot of people. People are locked in. So soon I'm gonna be, spending a lot of time on the people that are locked in. If you locked in already, you'll be getting an email in the next like 48 hours from me. And then once you lock in, you'll get an email. But so far, like, for the people who first locked in, they'll be getting emails first, and then so forth. But I'll be adding everyone to, like, everyone that, from when you lock in, I'm gonna add you to another platform within like 48 hours from when you join. So I'll message you guys probably by the morning or tomorrow morning, next like 48 hours, that already locked in. Trust, you guys don't know, for those of you guys locked in, like, I don't want to say everything on stream to the public, because the inner circle is private. It's exclusive. You guys are going to see. Those of you guys that took action will see. It's going to be very valuable. It's going to be more private talks with me, more access to me, like stuff I'm not going to say on YouTube, or, when they say locker room talk with the boys, that type of stuff. I know there's some women here, ladies and gentlemen. That type of stuff. So that's why I called it the inner circle. So I got a lot planned for it. OG 100, I'll appreciate you guys forever. But let's get back to this. I'll answer some questions out at the end for those asking. Crypto went crazy today because there was a meeting. They had a meeting today. Well, Bitcoin pumped. It's gone crazy the last couple days. Last couple days, like, you can't just rip up continuously. That's like maybe later on, those months, maybe February, March is when we get that. February towards March. You got to pump up, but nice pullback, almost to 95,000. So, like, market ripped up, pulled back. There was a meeting today. You can watch on YouTube. With crypto, like, so I think it was at like 2 p.m. this afternoon, with David Sachs revealing kind of Trump's crypto roadmap. David Sachs is the crypto guy for Trump, crypto czar. So that guy was, you could probably find like the press conference. Like, you could probably go on like YouTube, crypto press conference today. That was live. There was like some of the Twitter community didn't react so positive, but it's not like he said he didn't. I watched some of it, but I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna catch up on it, a little bit more of it tonight for tomorrow. So that happened today. So market kind of, when there's always news, market can be pretty volatile. Go up, it can go down. Even if the news is like positive, market can react negative to it because people want to buy a dip. Like, market gets flushed down. A lot of times we've seen in crypto, when there's like positive news around it, the market will sell off. Because with positive news, that's always maybe better for like the long term with positive news. So yeah, there was a crypto press conference. It's just like the first. Would that be like the first crypto press conference that happened today? Yeah, like that's because the U.S. He said like U.S. They talked a lot about stable coins, the stable market. I think they said a little bit about Bitcoin at the end. I'll have to watch the whole thing again. I kind of like skimmed through it, watched some little clips. But that was today. The first official press conference for digital assets. The golden age for Bitcoin and crypto industry begins. Is this from the physical to the digital? Because there's still a lot of people. I talk to a lot of everyday people. A lot of people that when you're teaching, you meet and questions you get. So there's a lot of people every day, still to this day, that don't even know how to open up a wallet, don't even know how to send crypto, stuff like that. Still new to a lot of people. Some of you guys might, be into crypto for the last year, maybe a couple of years, right? And you kind of got your head wrapped around things, buying a coin, sending a coin, receiving a coin, wallet address, right? Crypto exchanges, maybe what a ledger is, the difference between, how a ledger and exchange, things like that. I've built a whole PDF of it from start to finish for the inner circle. It's like I think it's like 230 slides. I built the whole PDF. Spent like 4 months building it. Inner circle is gonna get it. A lot of stuff I built out for the inner circle that you guys are gonna get, especially if you're even at the beginner level for crypto, like you don't even know what a wallet is. So they're talking about the golden age for Bitcoin and crypto in the industry. The US, from what I listened to in the press conference today, it looks like they want to be the place where everybody buys crypto. They want to be the industry leader for crypto. From what I listened to in some of that today, I don't know if any of you guys listened to it or were watching it. Don't worry, I'm gonna. Some people messaged me 7 days ago, 6 days ago, so I kind of just been going from the bottom. I'm working my way up from the people who first messaged me, trying to find. Going through my message requests, all of them. But by the end of the week, probably by the weekend, if you don't hear back from me, you will by Friday, Saturday on Discord. So yeah, they're moving like they promised to do some things. They did say like there is a lot of talk about a Bitcoin reserve. What if I watched one video where a guy was speaking about, because they're not going to just announce it, like there's time for them to announce we're strategically buying Bitcoin to hold it like gold. There's time for them to announce that. The moment they announce that, the market's going to go parabolic, right? So the moment that type of news gets announced, maybe they're just organizing other things more ahead of that announcement. Or, look at all the states. When you look at all the states, so I'll pull up this little map. I was going to post this in Discord. Saw this. It's on my Twitter. Let me find it. Here it is. Boom. Cointelegraph. Cointelegraph's good. It's one of the pages I follow on Twitter. So like the states in general like are still like becoming like overall right now pro crypto in terms of state by state for reserves. So as like a whole, they are becoming, more adopting to that. And then you have a lot of ETFs in the States acquiring these assets, holding them. That could be a part of the strategic strategy. Maybe silently they're buying because they're not going to just announce it so soon, right? The presidency just started. They're not just gonna, I don't think they're gonna go right into, boom, we're buying crypto, we're buying $5 million worth of crypto every day. We're buying, you know, I don't think they're gonna go into something like that right away, like boom, because the moment that's announced, that's just probably take us up. That would be, that would be adjust our targets type of news, maybe. If that ever hits in the next year. That's what a lot of people are speculating with what's been being said. They don't want, like, from what I've researched, and from my experience in the market, it wouldn't be something, like I said, they want to just boom, go right into, because market would then boom. There's apparently like a strategy that people are saying that they'll set forth for the reserve, like buying X amount of Bitcoin per day for X amount of years. I think it was like 5 million a day or something like that. Like buying, just continuously buying every day. Like look what El Salvador did. Look what Germany did. Germany sold. Germany fumbled the bag. Look what El Salvador did. Imagine if like the U.S. did that, like ahead of time, or you know. So February's a month where we typically again see positive returns on the Bitcoin and the Ethereum. Is history going to repeat itself? If we look at since 2013, that's 10, 12 years. Out of those 12 years, only 2 of them have been negative. Out of the 12. So since 2013 February's, that's averaged here. Out of, you can see on this is February, Bitcoin monthly averages, monthly returns. So in terms of percentage, some months have gone more, some months have gone less. You gotta remember, 12%, but price is probably at a higher price. So it was probably a big price increase. 12% could be, you know, if Bitcoin were to move 12% in February right now, if Bitcoin had a 12% gain for February right now, where would price be from now? 12% would take you to like a new all-time high. Well, then if you went 12% from that, if you go 12% from that price, right? If you were to compound it, right? So if you look at here, February, 10 out of 12 have been positive. So far, February's starting off on the red for Bitcoin. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's more about how we end the month off with crypto. With crypto, at the beginning of the month, there can be a lot of flush outs. We like to use the term flush outs, flushing out the market. All right? You know, when you go to your toilet. Germany took an L there, right? Big L. And at the time, I was making a video of, like, Bitcoin was at, like, the 50s, and I'm like, Bitcoin's going to go to 100. I made a video at that time when they sold. I was like, what are they doing? ETFs just came out for US. Before that, they should have been on my calls, man. Should have gave me that Bitcoin. Bro, they should have gave me that Bitcoin, yo. I would have held on to it, flipped it. Man, what are they doing? So it's, you know, the month. Obviously, we're looking at the month, and we saw how it came into February. How we started into February down, then up. Now we're, you know, making a pullback. We're still above the 90s. That's kind of like the key support area where there's a lot of support on Bitcoin, where a lot of people are trying to attack buys at the 90s, lower 90s. Heck, if it goes below 90, if it hits 88, if it goes below 90, they're gonna scoop those buys up, right? They want to buy it at a cheaper price, an asset that dilutes over time, that, you know, with supply. You don't gotta be good at math. These pixels, is it bad quality? How's the quality? Is the screen good? Bad quality? Looks good on my end. How we looking on the screen? Is it? So it's really about how the month ends in February. You gotta watch out at the beginning of the month, and you can maybe wait for these scenarios to happen within the first week of the month. Usually, you see like, especially if the market's going up towards like the end of the month. If let's just mark February. Where is January? We've been seeing like in the first week of January, like price was going up, and then within like that first week of January, major flush out. There's usually like in the beginning of the month, I've studied it, a major flush out in the beginning of the week. And what I think why is because like retail traders will be heavy long maybe at the end of the month, especially if price is pushing up or higher towards the end of the month. You typically get like a flush out or a correction at the end of the monthly candle. Like it's like October, if you look at where like October 31st is, price was pushing up. Like if you look at October, you had a whole, like October was one of the most bullish months before the elections, and then November was. Like if you look at October 31st here, market was pushing up going into October, and then literally there's a big flush out within the first 5 days of the first week, literally. That literally following Monday, right? That Monday the next week. So a lot of times you kind of got to be prepared for that. It could be like going towards the end of the monthly candle, like that last week going into, like if you look at, I've experienced this, like here's September 30th, so you can already see like September 30th, September 29th, market was already going up. End of the month, flush out, beginning of like first week of the market. First week of the market, big flush out as it's pushing up ahead of time. This can happen in that first week of the month because crypto is so big. Like what happened within the last market open coming into the new week, 750,000 traders got liquidated. So it's a big market of like really impatience. Like you got like obviously forex trading, a lot of impatience, but in crypto, like these flushes, like if you look at August, here's August 26th, end of August, price is pushing up towards the last week of August. Boom, September starts at the low, like you flushed down into September. So that's the only swing scenario is on flush outs, I think, like big flush outs where they happen once a month. They'll typically happen in that first end of the month going into after, so like the last week of the month going into the first week, so like the 2 weeks. There's typically one big major flush out that happens early on. I think of it like this because it's like in a retail market, everyone's busy, maybe not on the charts like I am every day, paying attention to things like this or waiting, watching price. So people might be just doing their thing all month. If you're not watching the market all month, and then you see prices are going up at the end of the month, like you're like, oh my gosh, prices are going up, I gotta buy. That's how I figure like the month can go up for the most part, right? And then retail traders start to hop in late more, right? Like towards the end of the month because prices are going up. People get more interested in crypto when prices are going up. People get scared when prices are going down, more so. So people get more interested, or people tend to go all in on the horse that they like their plays. Like there could be people who are already in crypto, but when they see their things going up, they tend to be more all in on it, or like, oh, I should have bought, or oh, like this, or let's say Bob or Sally was looking at XYZ crypto at the beginning of the month, but 2 weeks later, Bob and Sally sees XYZ crypto much higher than they did 2 weeks prior. They're going to be more intrigued to buy, right? They're going to be much more intrigued to buy because like, oh my gosh, it's going up, I gotta get in, right? That's like the mind of a retail trader, which I'll show you a picture. So hopefully I can find it. I'll show you a picture. Fear, greed, fear, greed, fear, greed. Forex, where is it? Should find it here. Yeah, here. So for instance, this is like what happens. So most people, like when I say most, like think about 750,000 people got liquidated. I'm talking like average trader that doesn't really put time onto the charts, know the basics, maybe just like FOMOs into the market. People usually buy things when they see prices go up or they fear sell. But what I'm talking about right now is with like, especially with the markets, like maybe Bob or Sally wanted to buy XYZ crypto 2 weeks ago and they saw it at this price and then they're like, they didn't buy it. So Bob or Sally didn't buy XYZ crypto. 2 weeks later it goes up. That's this. 2 weeks later it goes up. Bob and Sally's like, oh my God, I gotta buy this crypto before it keeps going up more. FOMO. Fear of missing out. So that can happen towards the end of the month more, a lot. If you look at crypto, like it's not so perfect. You'll see it's like the last week of the month or going into that first week of the month. There's typically a major sell-off that happens in the market. That happens again when you're look at July. July tends to be a bullish month in crypto. July also, especially for Ethereum tends to go up in July, I think. No, Bitcoin tends to be the runner for July. July tends to have some good movement for Bitcoin. Look at the month of July. It went up all month. So imagine you're a retail trader. So let's think about this. Like July starts down here. Well, actually, crazy. July starts up here, which is the end of June. End of June. Isn't that crazy? End of June, market dumps down. So going into July, it dumps. Literally, that's crazy. Like literally first week of July, dump. All July goes up. So think if you're a retail trader and you're watching prices go up all month on Bitcoin, other coins are also going up in this time because of Bitcoin dominance. This was a strong month for Bitcoin, so Bitcoin has a strong month like that continuous. Other coins will flow, cycle. Everything went up in July, even Ethereum did, even though it ended up dumping after. Because end of July is right here where I'm circling. So the fear, greed, or fear buy, FOMO, greed, FOMO, right? It can come towards the end of the month, like it can build up too, amongst a lot of traders where maybe, like I said, Bob and Sally saw XYZ crypto down here, but 2 weeks later now it's up here and they're like, oh my gosh, I gotta buy and hold, I gotta buy and hold. Or maybe they're, up here. End of the month. This thing about a candle, if a candle goes up, so you got a candlestick, right? If you have a candle that maybe from July 3rd starts going up all month, monthly is just going up. At some point in the month, it's gonna find that wick at the top, right? It's not just gonna go up every single, near the end of the month, the flow can cycle over. Like you could have a candle that goes up all month, right? It goes up majority of the average of the 30 days, 28 days of the month, weeks of the month, right? The candlestick is increasing all month, but that final week of the month, going into that new week of the month, is where it can find that wick on the top, right? Where it can find its high of the month, the highest point reached of the month, which typically can be found again towards the end of that final week of the month, or again going into that new week of the month. At that point, it gives, if you have a price of a market, whatever market is, if a market's going up for 30 days straight excessively, there's continuous demand there, right? So there's maybe positive news also going on. There's headlines going on, right? There's FOMO coming in for people who didn't buy low or buy the dip or are already hold or haven't been in the market. In a market like this where there's a price increase gradually, there's consistent demand. With consistent demand, if you're looking on social media and a market with consistent demand, you're going to be seeing headlines. Bitcoin hits this price. Bitcoin going up. Bitcoin going up all month. Bitcoin to the moon. That's going to be catching on for Bob and Sally, for people like Bob and Sally that might buy towards the end of the month, right? Where they get into that greed or that FOMO. I'm going over some key things right now that you can literally go study on your chart, and you'll see I'm not capping. Towards the end of the month, you tend to get a sell off. Like look at first week of June dumped into July. Depending, like May, a little different. Here's May. Last week of April, there's a sell off into May. May's bullish all month. So look at May. May was bullish all month. So I'm showing you May was bullish all month. End of May is up here. So June 1st. So after, going into July, it sells off. Literally, like, depends on how, like, price goes up all month. First week down. July was bullish. But that kind of like first week into June, it's interesting when you look at it and you have maybe some trader eyes, some fine-tuned eyes on the chart. You'll see a lot of major sell-offs though, kind of like what happened literally coming into February, final week. That's, everyone's buying up here because if you look at January went up. January started bearish first week, but then it went up. First week of February, down. So it could be a cycle for people who are really missing out too in the market. Gold, like overall, like if you're like sells on gold, there's not really sells. It's kind of just like what I said this morning. We'll analyze gold. We'll go over some gold stuff here, see what it's doing. We caught a good trade here. It's only Tuesday now. Still got major time left in the week. It might even, like, it's, if you look at Mondays on gold, we're going to talk about this. It's pretty much every Monday is set a buy for the week. Like, there's a chance it goes up until Thursday, Friday, and still just continues the trend. Keeps some demand maybe until the end of the week. Sells would have to be really timely and just waiting for the whole numbers. Like, I posted one chart this morning, and that was just like waiting. That was still waiting for price to push up, right? Because I want to wait to see if it goes near 50 at least. 45, 50 zone. That was the zone I made. In a scenario like this morning, it could be good to try to aim higher up. Maybe even make a zone that big. Find that price. Like I was using 50, so 50, I'm like, okay, there's some confidence with the 50, right? 50 psychological number. There's more confidence with that. So let me do the 5 underneath it. Maybe the market works in this zone for that higher high, because we typically see this. Like I've seen this a lot on my times on gold in New York session when it's pushing up into New York. The same thing happened yesterday morning. It pushed up into New York, and then there was a little sell-off that turned it into buys. Coming into the week, there was a major dip that bought the market up. Demand, right? They bought the dip because there's demand going on with all the trade wars. So they sold the dip into the new week. Still has demand, right? Pullbacks maybe just kind of going with the flow is kind of what I like to say. That's what you could say this chart was. This chart was more, I would say, going with the flow. We'll do a little training on that. This is kind of more going with the flow. Like, okay, we're in an uptrend on gold, so sells are going against the trend. Like, you could sit on your hands and let sells happen. Like, see if gold drops 100 pips, makes a good correction, and if buys hit, that might be more the play. We're going to analyze clean the charts up in a little bit here. Crazy start to February. Yeah, if you want to watch, you could go on YouTube, watch that press conference on YouTube. That was first ever crypto press conference in the States. So David Sachs press conference, crypto press conference. Let me check the chat here. Yeah, quality looks. Bob and Sally got that FOMO. Someone said, schedules in the Discord. We're live here every day. I'll drop the Discord. Go to announcements in the Discord. I'm doing an inner circle starting March. So in March, I'll be streaming a bit less on YouTube to focus on the people who took action to value their commitment. So put more time into, I'll be putting more time into the inner circle people starting March. So I'll still be on YouTube pretty much every day and uploading videos. Yeah, we're here scheduled for now. I put it in the announcements in the I actually dropped it earlier today in announcements. You can go to my Discord, go to announcements, and you can see this schedule in there. I gotta change my banners for Discord a little bit. I mean, not Discord, the stream here a little bit. But I mean, gold, kind of go with, I went with more of a go with the flow approach here. Like, it's the market has demand, so it's following the pullbacks. In a market that's just trending like this, has more demand. It's more like not aggressively looking for sells. Like, sells could happen. Maybe scalping if you're seeing sell confirmations. I was on this morning and gave you guys like a good rundown this morning. Like, I was showing you guys like in live time kind of maybe what to anticipate when you're coming to these price levels for sells. Because sells goes against the trend realistically when we think about it. Something like this more goes with the flow, and going with the flow can be really, like, treating it simple at times can work. Like, it was a really simple, oh, I didn't mean to click that. It was a really simple, like, you know, approach. Like, the market break and retest. Those setups don't always work, but keeping it simple at times, like, a lot of times they do. Like, a lot of the setups that I find, it's like kind of having a simple approach. Going with the flow, like, I talk about this in some of my older YouTube videos, like from 10 months ago. If you go back to like my YouTube videos, you'll probably hear me say like in 2 or 3 of them, go with the flow, like talking about going with the flow on gold, right? That can be like identifying a trend. Like, you don't have to be a part of every move in the market. The part of trading can be identifying the flow and then going with the flow. Like, identifying the trend. You know how they say the trend is your friend? So I like to say going with the flow, like identifying what the flow is. What is the trend of the market? Let me try to go with that flow. Find something inside of that. Because in trends, they can build up, and you don't have to catch the beginning of a trend to catch a piece inside of the trend, right? This can be on a 4-hour or a 1-hour chart, or maybe at times a daily. But if the market is forming like a structure like this, and I talk about this in some of my YouTube videos, if the market's going up, down, you just really have to identify that first piece, that first like wave like this, right? And wait for those pullbacks that can go with the flow. Right? If you can identify a solid concrete market structure that starts, and maybe there's even better, like you're coming from a downtrend perhaps too, like even better. If you're coming from a downtrend and you like shift and you make that change of character, market structure shift, and you go up, make another high out of that, right? Like, you don't have to, part of trading can be spending time to let this stuff build up. This might be a week of price movement or 2 weeks of price movement on the 4 hour, right? With the candles, 4 hour, 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 right? Like built up, right? 4, 8, 12, 16, 12, like, so you might have over a week here of price action, right? That's part of what trading is at times. It's not always about going to the chart and, okay, what's the trade right now? It can be more scoping things out, gathering information, building kind of like a little blueprint and seeing like I said, go with the flow, like trying to identify that flow, a market structure shift or a trend, right? That's kind of what I would say this gold was, like going more with the flow. I'm like, okay, this is bullish, goes more with the current flow of the market, right? And sometimes just like, not even sometimes, a lot of times just keeping it real simple like that can work out, right? If you backtrack it a bit and say you look at gold on the 4 hour, right? Because if you're not on the charts every day, this type of style is good for you, like 4 hour flow. Look at this chart, for instance, on a 4 hour, right? From these highs down here, right? What do the highs start doing on a 4 hour? Like, what can you see these highs are doing? They're continuously getting higher. So at the beginning there, kind of in December coming into January, you can see the market is making higher highs here. We're going higher, we're going higher, we're going higher. We're continuously going higher gradually, right? So identifying even like this point, right, for that pullback. Because if you're looking at this, right, if you're going, okay, all it takes really is to identify some change in character or some market structure that's going in a certain direction, right? That could be this, where you're waiting for that pullback, you're waiting for that retracement back down to go back up. You don't have to be a profitable trader. This is a high probability move, right? That you're going to be looking for maybe a couple times a month, maybe once or twice a week, 2-3 times a week, maybe. Sometimes more, sometimes less. So when I'm trading 4 hour style, I know I'm taking lesser trades in the month, quantity. So quantity is less versus scalping. Scalping, in a week, I might take as many trades as I would in a month versus a 4 hour. If I'm only, let's just say, like, let's just flip perspective for a minute. Let's just say the only time frame I could look at, I was limited to. Let's just say the 4 hour was the only time frame the market gave me access to. How many trades a week would you find if that was the only time frame the market gave you access to? Maybe 2-3 a week, right? Maybe some weeks more, some weeks less. So in terms of time frame can deliver quantity and style, approach, planning, risk tolerance, probability. Because if I'm doing something fewer times, right? Maybe if I'm doing something 5 times, right? It could be more accurate. Maybe it's not because it's coming off of a 4 hour time frame. I know I'm maybe doing this setup less because it's a swing. So I might risk 5% or more instead of the little little percentages or what I'll risk in the day when I'm scalping. Because this swing I might be getting this one swing once. The next one might come next week, right? I might catch another swing next week, right? Planning approach, style approach is key. And you might even have to have the mindset of, I'm only going to look at the 4 hour chart, right? Like, I'm only going to look at the 4 hour time frame. If you do that, you will see setups in a certain way, right? if you're only going to look at the 4 hour, you're going to be not getting as much quantity, but you still have to be on top of price and on the chart, spend time keeping up with the charts, like watching the price action, so you know, okay, I'm in you find that flow, basically, you find that setup, right? Because if you're looking at this on gold back over here, you have that market structure, right? You have that push up, you have that push down, you have that push up, you have that push down. So right here you have you begin that, like, go with the flow. Right here you're beginning that go with the flow. The setup could be right here. Maybe stop loss at previous structure because it's a swing. Like style approach, like if I'm swinging the market, I'm analyzing the 4 hour chart and looking for a setup off the 4 hour chart in the week. I'm gonna hold that. I'll probably risk a higher percentage because I'm probably gonna risk more pips, because I'm gonna use the 4 hour for my risk. I'm gonna use the previous structure behind me for my risk point. I'm gonna risk more. It doesn't mean, so that's where my maximum risk is. My maximum risk. That means if it goes there, I lose this. If it goes there, my maximum risk. It doesn't mean I have to hold the market until it gets to my stop loss. It's my maximum risk. If I'm trading like this twice a week, if I'm looking for 2 setups like this a week, maybe a few a month, I might be putting on a 10K, 20K trade that I'm looking to hold. A bigger trade, higher risk, bigger stop loss in terms of size to give me that distance where it's like, okay, it's a far distance, maximum risk. Doesn't mean it's gonna go there. Doesn't mean I have to hold it till it's there. My maximum risk. It's likely the market's not gonna go 300 pips against me. Maybe I go on a 50 pip drawdown. Maybe I go on an 80 pip drawdown. Maybe I go on a 40, maybe. But trading like this could be like a swing style. If you look at this market line chart, you could see, so if you're a new trader, there's a lot of things I'll be teaching in the near future, how to kind of identify markets. Like this is a tip I'm giving right now, line chart. The candles might be kind of, what's the word? Weird at first, maybe. Like you might look at the candles and not see the highs and lows as clear. So maybe the line chart might smoothen things out a bit at times, where you see the peaks, the high points, the swing highs, the peaks and the lows, the bends and the throughs. You quickly go to a line chart and it can just quickly smoothen things out. Like, okay, I see some higher highs being made along price all the way up here. So that swing setup, when it's 4 hour approach, like we can talk more about 4 hour approach on these. We've been going over a lot of scalping. We can flip the perspective. I could do a week of just talking about the 4 hour. The 4 hour, that's a time frame that I've always just focused on. That's the time frame I usually send signals on because it's very accurate. I went on one time an 8-month win streak only looking at the 4 hour. One time I went on an 8-month win streak with gold, sending signals. I forget what year it was. Maybe it was in the last 2 years. The only time frame I had on my trading view was the 4 hour. I treated it like, because I know the 4 hour is accurate. So it's kind of like a horse with that tunnel vision, right? Where, okay, maybe the 1 minute's a distraction for you. Maybe the 15-minute sometimes a distraction for you. Maybe it's like indicators. There's so many indicators in trading, but realistically, you don't need them all, right? Maybe some of them are distractions. So there was a time in my trading where I just said, I'm going to treat my trading right now like I'm just limited to the 4 hour. Like it's the only time frame I have access to. And I did really good. I did really good. Because it kind of takes out some other noise. It's like, okay, there's nothing here. I gotta wait till there's something on the 4 hour, right? So when you're looking at gold on the 4 hour, it's really about thinking like a swing style, quality over quantity in this case. Less is more. Less frequency, more accuracy in terms of quantity trades. But if you were to do the math, and let's say there's 52 weeks in a year, right? We got 52 weeks in a year. And let's say with swing style, you average 2 to 3 a week. Do the math, right? How many trades a year is that, right? If you do the math, right? You got 104. 156 or what? Am I doing the math right? 156, I think. Or 156. All right, I'm right. So think about the math, because it's, if you think about the, so 4 hour, let's say I was limited to the 4 hour only. We got 52 weeks in the year. Because if there's 2 a week, that's going to be 104. Kind of minimal range would be 2 to 3 a week. So 104 to 156 trades in a year. If I was just to say, treating my style like, okay, and this is something you're going to have to figure out, and in the inner circle, I'm going to be spending a lot of time on this with the mindset and psychology part of the course. You guys will hear me talk about these on streams too, little tips and tricks. You have to identify style. Style can arrive from who you are even as a person. Your characteristics as a human, just outside of trading. Who you are, what type of behavior, your personalities. Are you a really patient person, more laid back, conservative, that can stay really patient, lock in, or are you more scalping, aggressive? Like, style, personality can be a lot of figuring out, like, okay, I'm going to focus on this for this period. I'm just going to focus on 4 hour for this, or I'm going to focus on some scalping stuff. Because me, at my level, I've been doing this for 10 years. I'm very all around. And that's why I've had a lot of successful students, because I can teach a lot of different styles. I've had a lot of successful students from day trading to scalping to more swing style. So that's why, for me, I have thousands and thousands and thousands of testimonials, lots of them, because of I can diversify in terms of style. If I wanted to say, guys, the next 3 months, we could focus on scalping New York sessions, scalping London, like scalping, or guys, like, I'm just gonna focus on 4 hour only this month. So I might only see 2-3 setups. So, like, you can plan your month in advance. Like, this month, I'm only going to focus on the 4 hour. I'm going to go in with this kind of mindset. Or maybe this week, I'm going to focus on scalping the New York session. I'm going to look for maybe 2 entries a day, see what I can do. I'm going to start my account with this for the week, see what I can do for the week. You could kind of plan in advance, right? If I wanted to go into a scalping week, like this week, I'm going to scalp it, shred it up. Let me throw 10K in my account, see what I can do for the week. Maybe I'm going to, you guys know me, I like to trade London, New York, or sometimes just New York, mix around of both. Maybe I'm going to take 2 to 3 entries a day, or 2 entries in a day. See what I can do for the week. You can plan around your trading, right? If you think about 2 to 3 might not seem like a lot, but it could add up. What if you're risking $500 per trade? Do the math, right? Doesn't mean you're fully risking that and you have to hold it to stop loss, but on average, if you're following a good plan and you're focusing on the 4 hour, you should be able to find 2 to 3 setups a week throughout the curve, the 52 weeks. So in 1 week, a little bit might happen, or a lot might happen in 1 week, right? But you still have that curve over time where it's like how many times you're doing the same thing. So if you're doing something 104 times in the year, X times $100 per trade, that's the cost of operation, right? You're not going to lose those 104 trades. Most likely, at some point, they're going to be in profits. Especially on the 4 hour, it's more accurate, right? So, things I'm talking about right now, guys, like the words I'm saying, the sentences I'm saying, are things no one told me when I first started trading. Are things that, you know, I had to figure out maybe after 4 or 5 years of trading kind of on my own, through the ups and downs, through the mistakes. So just know, if you're stepping into the market, it's your first year, you're ahead of the curve in terms of learning, right? You might not be where you are in results. That's an emotional thing, right? You might not be in terms of finance or results, but progress makes perfection, I like to say. Some people say practice makes perfect. You know, practice makes progress. So like I said this morning, sells, you want to be watching out for sells, like it's pullbacks, continuations at this point for gold. But like, look at, for instance, when you talk about simple break and retest, 1, 2, maybe even it's some weeks 1 to 2 at average. Like some weeks more, some weeks less. That's why I said 2 to 3 on average. One week you might see 2. One week you might see 3 setups. The next week you might see 1. If you look at this, it's literally break and retest along the way. Break and retest, break and retest, break and retest. 4-hour chart. Rejection candlesticks at those resistance levels. So I talk in my videos and on these streams a lot about rejection candles. So you have a resistance here. You have a resistance, breaks above, pulls back. Rejection candle takes its way up. You have another resistance here. Market breaks up, pulls back. Rejection candles, works its way up. Resistance here, well, swing high. Market pulls up. Rejection candle, swings its way up. Bit of resistance here, almost. Resistance here, rejection candle, swings its way up. Resistance here, rejection candle, swings its way up. Yeah, like overall, like with, I don't want to get too ahead of gold. I know gold. I've been on gold for years, and I know if you don't want to get too ahead of it in these times because of like all the geopolitical stuff. I still don't think sells are as favorable. Like I said this morning, and kind of coming into the week, maybe we get a pullback of like this area, 28.50, 28.45 for London. Smash the like button if you guys are getting value, and drop in the comment section if you guys are learning, if you guys getting value from this stream. Hope you guys are learning here. We went over a lot. We went over some crypto stuff. We got over some gold stuff, like giving you guys some knowledge. So like, take note of things. A lot of different knowledge for some of you guys. Some of you guys might be into crypto more than others. I focus on the gold market. So mainly for me, I focus on the gold market. Main thing, the gold market and crypto. I'm a crypto. In the inner circle, those of you guys in the inner circle will see my crypto portfolio. Like I'm not big into showing that publicly. That's private. But inner circle, oof, rough week. Damn, bruh. You know those weeks where you don't check your portfolio and then you check it and you're like, oh wow. %15 hurts these days. Down 1M on the month. Down $1 million. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Oh man. Smash this. I think you had a bad month, eh? I'm down. Portfolio change. 7 fit about it. Where it was at peak from a month ago. Yeah. Literally 1M. %15 is painful right now. I need February, March to bring it back. Hope you guys are getting value. If anything, like it's because remember the whole everything going on, like from my experience, like it's like an environment right now where like there's tension, right? Tension, right? You can see it in price. This is tensions rising, I think, with all the trade war stuff. Like if you're scalping it, like look at the 5 minute, maybe watching the $5 levels. But I'd like to see if we maybe like we just left 28.50, maybe a pullback to 28.50 could be 28.50, 28.45 area could be like the next zone to focus on. 28.40. I do see the market did come from like 28.40 nicely. It was a nice move from there. So it could even be a bigger pullback to 28.40 now that I'm seeing here on the 15 minute. Like watching for a nicer pullback to like 50 or lower, I think would be better for gold in this case, just because of the state of the market. If you've been following the streams for the last month now, we started pretty much at the beginning of January, guys. So if you've been here plugged in, you kind of know what gold's been doing, right? If you've been plugged in since the first stream we did 3 weeks ago, it's gonna be 4 weeks after this. The same thing might happen this week that we've literally seen now, like 4 weeks in a row, where it goes up until Thursday, Friday, maybe sells end of the week, going into next week. If you're looking for sells, it's like a timely thing, maybe scalping, using the whole number, some of the stuff I teach you guys on the streams. But like I said this morning, sells are maybe quick, aggressive. It goes against the trend. And the trend is also, we can see a trend in structure, but there's also a bigger trend now, right? With this trade wars, that causes demand. Trends obviously are in the charts, but what causes trends too is like there's 2 wars going on. Now you got trade wars being talked about, right? Inflation. Those types of things cause trends, right? When trade wars talk on the weekend hit, I was like, gold's probably gonna open up bullish. Like I was seeing it over the past weekend. That's why first thing if you came on my stream yesterday morning, first thing I talked about was, guys, maybe sells, watch out. Like we want buys, and even at the end of last week we talked about it. So that's why that's the first thing I mentioned this week, because when I saw the news this week, I'm like, okay, that's kind of a trend right there itself. Like that's a bullish trend factor right there. Trump spoke a couple weeks ago, and he also said the war most likely won't slow down. If you remember, 2 weeks ago he spoke, and I mentioned this in Discord, right? He said because of oil prices. Trump said because of oil prices, the war is more likely to continue. So since he said that, which was a little bit before FOMC maybe, like since he said that, when was that? Like I think that was in here if I'm not mistaken, around there. Like since he said that, price has gone up too. Like it went down first and then price went up. So maybe keep an eye on like pullbacks tonight for gold. Like I'll probably drop a chart for this in Discord, but you guys here on stream are getting this right now, so you kind of know ahead of time. That's what I think. That's my opinion for gold tonight, guys. We have NFP Friday. What are they saying for Friday? Yeah, NFP Friday. So what's the forecast? Negative forecast, so price is already trading towards the forecast for gold. It's a negative forecast for employment change. Market is already trading towards that bias. Look at Canada, eh? Forecast is set for negative, so we could even trade up till maybe Thursday, Friday. The forecast doesn't have to come out negative, but the forecast right now is negative. So a lot of times the market will trade towards the forecast before the news, because it's like, okay, it's expected to come out negative. we should buy now, just in case it doesn't come out negative. Or just in case it comes out negative too, we should buy, right? Like, a lot of times the market will trade towards the forecast before the news. NFP Friday. First NFP after the first one. Yeah, NFP. Yeah, not the first one. There. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for gold tonight. What time is it? 11:30. Just chilling right now. Not. There's no entries right now. I'd watch price maybe for London. See if you get some retracements. Crypto is a roller coaster. Let's just say it's up, it's down, it's down, it's up. I think the talk's a lot on Bitcoin. A lot of alts are down. I think a lot of money's, you see a lot of things flowing, like alts and memes are bleeding out because that's what most retail is holding. People want to buy more. It looks like people want to buy Bitcoin more. We got to keep an eye on February, good old February here. 2 out of the 12. So out of the 12, only 2 negative. So let's see if February can bring some positive gains. I put the Discord link in the chat. I'll drop it one more time. There it is for anybody who wants to join. For anybody who's DM'd me already on Discord, don't worry, I'm going to be accepting all the message requests. I'll get back to you guys that are still waiting for a response. Message me on Discord. If you want to be a part of Inner Circle, I'll get you back to the details. It starts in March. But for anybody who's already locked in, if you're on this stream right now, maybe you're hearing this, I already posted something in the group and the announcements in Discord. You might have seen earlier today. But for anybody who's on the stream right now already locked in, I see actually a couple names. See a couple names actually. Yeah, I do actually see a couple of you guys. A couple names. I think I see like 3 of you on here. 3 or 4 actually. I got a good photographic memory. See a couple of you guys. For those of you guys that are locked in, I'll be emailing you shortly in the next like 48 hours. Just getting everybody organized right now, and I'll be adding you to another platform shortly where there'll be more communications and updates going before March. Like, it starts in March, but I'll be adding you guys to the platform before March and stuff, and you'll be getting more communication there, so just keep noted for that. Stay patient. I have a lot of DMs, just organizing everything right now, so it should take like by the end of this week maximum. But yeah, crypto really, it's really a whole, like, if you're holding, you're looking at how February performs, or February going into March. Hopefully we get that February good return month. There's obviously been just so much positive news on crypto. Long term, I think we're still good in the market. Like, altcoins are down. They still, like, so many things are still kind of underperformed. So I don't think we hit a major alt season yet until Ethereum really has a new all-time high created this year. Like, there's a lot of Ethereum whales buying. Great prices to be staking at. Like, whales who buy, whales want to buy lower on Ethereum because whales buy large amounts and they stake it to get yields. So the more you stake, obviously the better yields you get, but the price you stake your yields at, if you don't know what staking is, that's part of the crypto course actually in the Inner Circle. That's where I'm going to be showing you guys how I stake, what I do, what I've done. There's a few cryptos I stake. Polkadot, Ethereum, Solana. You can stake Sui. So when it comes down to staking something like Ethereum, like, whales want to get their yields at lower pricing, right? So those rewards are more in terms of their daily rewards or their every other day rewards on the Ethereum network. That's what I think is going on, because what Ethereum is, like, these ETFs are adopting it. Why? Because you can stake it like dividends for stocks, right? Stocks, there's certain stocks that you can receive dividends for holding the stock. That's what staking virtually is. Ethereum, a lot of these whales earn Ethereum on a daily basis, right? Small percentage APY, like 1 to 3%, 2 to 3%, 2 to 4%, not a large APY, but when you have like $100 million, $50 million more in an account, those rewards can graduate. They can add up, right? Especially if you're planning on holding the asset. So it's like, that's one thing I've always recognized Ethereum as, is something that maybe hedge funds and these ETF guys are recognizing it as also, is like something that's, you know, obviously Bitcoin, there's only a certain amount, but this is something that you can always gain more of by holding it, right? So I've always recognized it at that, and I've always been like, once these hedge fund guys see this and notice that, it'll be big. And it's crazy how it happened. It was always something I've always said, once these hedge fund guys, these futures, ETF guys realize, like, I can go on my phone or my own access and stake this, right? It's interesting when you wrap your head around it, but Ethereum 2, February, only, same with Ethereum, only 2 negative Februaries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 9. So out of 9, with Ethereum, you've seen 2 negative Februaries so far. So realistically, there's been 1 negative month for February and 2 negative months for March. Right now it's negative, it's starting negative. The question is, do we finish negative or do we end positive going into March? March, there's been 2 negative months for Ethereum. April, 3. So it's kind of a season where you can see not a lot of red in, or April 3, not a lot of red in this season for Ethereum. This first quarter. Well, January marks the first quarter of the year, but that, you know, February, March, April. Even May. After that, like summer months, you can see more red in the summer. October, November, this tends to be the next more bullish season as well, end of the year. October, November, first quarter of the year. So, interesting timeline here. Let's see what happens for February going into March. I'm excited. I'm not fearful. I'm excited. Nah, chilling. Grounded. I'm grounded. Chill. Following the plan. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it today, guys. I think we covered enough for tonight's session. I mean, we'll be back on in the morning for New York session. Like I said, still keeping up with demand for gold, so I wouldn't be surprised if we end like going in Thursday to Friday higher, maybe even like 28.75. But pullbacks, looking for like continuations, I think is like more what the market favors right now. There's more demand, so I usually just put like the XAU markups. I go over a lot of charts, a lot of trades on these sessions. Sells might be tricky for gold. I don't like sells. It's like kind of, you know, like when they talk about drop, like they can happen. If they happen, I'll miss them. But it's like the expression, a falling knife. It's kind of like trying to catch the top. It's hard to do that in this environment. Can I pay with card? I mean, if you have like PayPal, I can do that for a few people. But crypto is easiest. Ethereum, Bitcoin, USDT is easiest. No, silver, I don't trade silver, but I'll look at it. Like probably silver's at the top here. Silver looks bullish. longer term. Starting the like monthly bullish, might end the month like silver. Now I'll look at it to kind of replicate like, okay, silver looks like a buy, like gold's, because there could be divergence between one. Like silver could be testing a low, like silver's testing a high and gold's already going up, and gold can already be like going up and silver's like testing a low, like testing a support. So it's like gold's already going up. It shows me like, okay, gold can keep going up. There could be divergence between the two in price. Yeah, I was only on gold. Maybe some currency pairs here and there, but no, gold, just gold, strictly 4 hour. I treated my trading like that once, and I went on a roll for 8 months straight. And it was only looking at the 4 hour. I literally treated my trading like, I'm pretty sure like the only thing I had in here was just the 4. Like I took away the 1 minute, I took away the 5 minute, I took away the 15, I took away the 30. I had the 4 hour and the daily, and I think the 1 hour. Like I took away like every chart, and I just treated it. The mindset was, I'm treating it like I only have access to this time frame. Like I can only look at the 4 hour, because 4 hours is a really solid, concrete. Let's say it's a pretty concrete time frame compared to a 5 minute, right? It's pretty concrete with the candlesticks and the structures it makes. So it's more solidified. OG 100 don't know. Y'all don't know it, but I tend to be surprising. I can be a surprising, humble person, so. OG 100. Let's get it. Trying to make, someone's like, we're gonna create the gold Illuminati group. We're gonna create a fire trading group. That's what we're gonna do. Some like fire traders. I've done it over years. I've done it. I've helped people do things that I'm like, how'd you do that? I don't know if you guys saw the guy who just, look at this in one day. I told him withdraw, keep those profits. Where was it? It's in Pip and Dip somewhere here. Like, people are making profits, learning the strategy, or even just kind of taking my insights, following the analysis. Like, look at Skids. Skids is on fire. Skids is killing it. Skids is gonna be the one, the protege. People are taking insights, like that's fire. Look at this. You can see the buys, literally. Where's he buying? 28.40. He had an alert around. Look at this. Look at that. Do you see this? He did that. He did that on his own. 26.78. Oh, okay. I see that. Oh, nice. Fire. I gotta add more emojis. I gotta add more emojis to the group. I have some. I bought some when I started it, so like these Doge. There. That's fire. Like if you go through Pip and Dip, people are literally. But I want to show you guys this, for instance. This was pretty fire yesterday. Like, I gotta scroll because there's a lot in here on a daily basis. People are learning, like I'm telling you, with the YouTube videos, with the streams. Look at this. This guy. Shout out to Febin, if I'm saying that right. Did a small flip from $103 to $607 in 12 hours, 501% ROI. This is done just purely using Pip and Dip strategy on gold. That was in one day. I told him withdraw, take those profits. That's a good, like, because it doesn't matter. Like, that's the percentage. Like, if you do that with $1,000, you do that with $500, you do that with $200. It doesn't matter what amount you do that with, or even close. Even if you did 300, 400%, it's a good profit to take. I bet if he held his trade, I think he's in buys on gold. This guy caught 14. Like, look at the pips. You can see there. So he caught 1,400 pips, or 14,953 points on gold. Like, there he is in the chat, yo. See? Real people, real results. He's in the chat right now. Yeah, like, people are learning how to trade gold. I put a lot of people on gold trading. Yeah, so just chilling tonight, waiting for buys. Maybe it's a major week with NFP at the end of the week. And we'll be live for NFP on YouTube. So that would pretty much be it for the night. Check out the Discord. Pip and Dip has a lot of testimonials. DGen chat. You can just say whatever you want. That's just chat. I'll probably organize this a bit soon. Inner Circle, I'm gonna move that. Actually, delete that. We don't need that there anymore because I'm moving the Inner Circle to a completely different place, a different platform. Inner Circle is gonna be on another website, so you'll just have to like sign up with like a email password. I'll email you, and you'll have to accept the invitation through the email you guys provided me. I'll be done this week. That's why I want to start it in March, so I get everyone set up before March. Kind of understand, because in the group there's a calendar as well. Probably going to do a lot of the group calls on the weekends. Everything's going to be recorded because I know most people work through the weekdays. So I'm going to be doing weekend calls, once in the morning, once at night. So every weekend it'll be one in the morning, one at night, one in the morning, one at night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But it'll be scheduled in advance, but everything will be recorded. But the group calls will happen on the weekends since most people work on the weekdays. So I'll be one. That's what I'm planning to do. There's gonna be a calendar in the group. So I'm gonna add to the calendar in advance Saturday mornings to Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday night call. And those calls might be 2 hours long maximum, maybe longer at times. Sometimes long, yeah, like 2 hours minimum, I'd say. There'll be trainings. I have a lot of PDFs, PowerPoints, and when you join, there'll be videos to go through already that are pre-recorded on your own time. You don't have to be on every live stream, but I'm going to schedule it to try to make it convenient for people to go on, like on the weekends. But they will be recorded. But yeah, guys, that's it for the day. Let's see if gold pulls back tonight to like 28.50 or lower. Maybe it reacts again for some setups there. Did that move? Yeah, it moved. Oh, it moved up here. I gotta delete that. Don't need that part. Yeah, that's fire. Oh, damn. 28.13. Whew. I think I see more than one entry there. Or does that break? You got break even on there? I think I see a couple. Damn. Is that 500 pips? 400 pips? That's how I gotta let my winners run now. I gotta let my winners run like that. Wow. This is pretty fire. Look at the pips though. On a 0.2 lot. Right? That's some pips. Yeah, that's good on a 0.2 lot. I see the pips. Yeah, almost 200. Like yeah. This one. Okay, 160 pips, 146. Yeah. Literally. And even this trade. This is the same trade, right? 841. This literally. That's over. Yeah, it's fire. Oh, the pips. 808. My entry was 815. My lowest, I was holding 815. It's good pips. Tight SL, that's good. A tight SL. Sal's, yeah, that's a, yeah, 2850. Oh, I had a little reaction. Sells are tight right now. Good pips, pip and dips. That's a pip and dip right there. But yeah, guys, I'm out for the night. Peace out. We'll be on in the morning. New York session. Schedules in the announcements. I posted it a little bit earlier today. But yeah, we'll be on in the morning. 7 a.m., 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. Before New York Open. Peace out. That's gonna be it for the night. I'll see everybody next stream. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
How do you make a plan? I mean, hope for the best, okay? But that's not a plan.
Multi-armed form and says